would like to have a word. That's why people care,
Yeah,
right?
people care because
the
of the
reason that that's in the Constitution is to prevent the president of the United States from accepting things that are being perceived as bribes.
What is the national interest of this trip?
The goal of the trip is not to get a giant gift that he can say belongs to him as president, but then he takes with him when he leaves the office.
Abby, you have to distance yourself from Trump derangement syndrome. It's irrelevant to policy. It doesn't.
The United States Constitution just made an unexpected appearance on CNN, and as you can see, not everyone was happy about it. Welcome back to the channel. You just watched Kevin O'Leary try to dismiss serious constitutional concerns as nothing more than a derangement syndrome, while Abby Phillip stood her ground on the Emoluments Clause. But how did this conversation get so heated? Let's rewind and look at the massive foreign gifts that sparked this exact showdown.
According to our reporting, some of the deals going on right now: Saudi Arabia, 2 luxury towers, Live Golf Partnership, Qatar, Golf Club and Villas, UAE, luxury hotel, cryptocurrency deal, Oman, resort and golf project.
And the dinner.
I mean this sincerely. I mean, does it bother you that this is happening at the same time that these nation states are also trying to curry favor with Trump himself?
Well, it doesn't really bother me that people are in business for years, then their dad gets elected president, and then they continue to go on in business. We knew we were electing a businessman president. We knew his family was in business. So I think the American people have full visibility into that. Number 2.
But we're talking about new deals here, not existing deals.
Well, they're business people. They're cutting deals all the time.
You're okay with them cutting deals while Trump is sitting in the White House when he's going over there to negotiate with them?
Doing negotiations with
We're negotiating with every country in the world every day. Well, let me answer your question, the specific criticism about Hunter Biden. All the things you just mentioned, towers, golf courses, hotels, resorts, tangible things.
Cryptocurrency and meme coins, Scott, don't forget those.
You do something, money exchanges hands, a service is provided, a tower is built, a golf course is developed. Can you name one tangible service other than finger paintings that Hunter Biden provided for any money that changed hands?
I do think that is
You cannot.
a fair critique of Hunter. I think it's a fair critique of the Hunter Biden of it all.
That's not apples to apples.
But you're not addressing the fact that in all of these countries, in order to do any of these things, they have to go to the political leadership of the countries to get them approved. That doesn't address that at all.
Abby, at 10:07, Scott was telling me how the biggest modern day conspiracy we've had in terms of a president scandal was Joe Biden and his health. And he said that, and then he criticized Chuck Schumer, right, about the fact that he didn't have any character because he didn't stand up to it. But at 10:27, 10:28, the argument has changed, because what we do know is that there is a $400 million jet from Qatar. What we do know is that there is a $5.5 million golf course in Qatar. What we do know is what Syria is offering Donald Trump. And what we do know is that the things that are happening in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, buying meme coins that mean absolutely nothing. The fact is, and I would love for Scott to be able to answer this question, but for the fact, and that's when I didn't really do well in law school, but I remember but for the fact Donald Trump is president of the United States, none of this would happen. And so that is what you call a kleptocracy. And so when you have children, and no, and 1 second, Kevin, because you wanted to talk about Kevin O'Leary, you wanted to talk about Kamala Harris being mediocre. Donald Trump Jr. and what's the other one? Eric are the definition of what mediocre is. And what I'm saying is that now they are reaping the benefits of their father.
In a different direction?
Please.
Just for a moment. Please.
No, guide me. I'm blind.
What does this have to do with Middle East policy? Please, just a moment.
Oh, no, please.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes,
what does this have to do with the fact that he is trying to create a circle of friendship with the fastest growing geographies in the world before China does?
But wait a second.
Wait, let me finish.
Well,
on this trip, I just want to introduce an idea. This has nothing to do with policy.
Go ahead. I'm locked in.
What does this have to do with policy?
The one thing that I've heard for the last 4 or 5 years is anytime anyone had any criticism of the United States foreign policy in Gaza or whatever, is that these people would be being paid by a resource-rich government that propped up and funded terrorism, which was over in Qatar. Every single time. They were buying influence in Ivy League schools. They were buying influence in social media. They were buying influence everywhere. So anytime you saw somebody
You wanna
that
push these
you
countries away.
were
You wanna
saying
push
that
these-
anytime somebody was thought to have any dealings with the Qataris, they were thought as being intellectually and morally tainted. Except the President of the United States, who takes a $400 million plane from them, literally is refurbishing it to be Air Force
Who cares about the plane? What does that have to do with the
got it.
fact?
Because it's
You got it.
Wait a second.
Because it's
You know what?
if you
Well,
don't
I
care
don't get it.
about taking-
Why focus on something that is irrelevant to the policy
It's
of the
not
region?
irrelevant.
It's completely irrelevant.
How is it irrelevant?
Kevin,
Would you rather have the Chinese there, or would
United
you rather have them there?
Kevin, the United States Constitution
irrelevant.
would like to have
No,
a
it's-
word.
it's
The United States Constitution would like to have a word. That's why people care,
Yeah,
right?
people care because
the
of the
reason that
Constitution.
that's in the Constitution is to prevent the President of the United States from accepting things
what's
that
the
are
goal of
being
the trip?
that are being perceived
What's the
as
goal-
as bribes.
What is the national
The
interest
goal of the
this
trip is not to get a giant gift that he can say belongs to him as president, but then he takes with him when he leaves the office.
Abby, you have
That's
to
not-
distance yourself from Trump derangement syndrome. It's irrelevant to policy. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
What matters
Kevin,
is, why are all these AI guys
Have
on this
you
trip?
heard of the Emoluments
Scott's
Clause?
the only one he
Wait.
doesn't
Why do you
have
have
Have you
all
heard,
the leaders
Kevin, no,
of-
seriously, it's a serious question.
different
Have
about
you
him?
heard of the Emoluments Clause? Do you understand that that is in the Constitution?
He doesn't. No.
No,
And
listen,
do you
I-
understand that
I
even if
don't-
you
I
think
don't-
that maybe it might
debating
be okay,
how many fairies
it's
dance on a
still,
pin
it's
does
still
not do
legally
policy.
incredibly dubious.
So let me ask you a
realize
question.
That, right?
So can
Hold
I?
on,
So
but
I'm sorry.
hold on.
I'm
Let me
hearing-
just. But Kevin doesn't operate by the same morals and ethics and values that we're
I'm
talking
above
about.
that. I focus
because
on
you're
policy.
so rich, you get to be above it. That's
It's
so
nothing to
lovely.
do with wealth. It's policy, policy, policy.
No, but here's the point about the policy. Let me make one point, fellas. Whew. If someone is willing to take a $400 million plane from a government, that the kinds of things that Van was talking about, people have said, even Ted Cruz had some issues with this. What else is he willing to do? And Scott, you're talking about these tangible things. Meme coins
they're
are
business people.
Meme coins are not tangible. They're nothing. Cryptocurrency is nothing. There is a bidding war going on right now with governments and countries and companies. We have no idea what their alignments are to buy enough meme coins to buy access to our
There is
president.
a story tonight in the New York Times about a very mysterious company that bought hundreds of millions of dollars
With
worth of
links to
Trump
China. I mean,
I
meme
think-
coins with links
I mean,
to
I think-
China.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, there are some
go ahead.
real questions and
the emo-
concerns
the-
about the money that is
mo-
being
The emoluments,
made here.
The emoluments thing you raised, I mean, it's a good question. It's a legitimate debating point, and I assume it'll ultimately be tested in court. The administration has a point of view on it. I assume they're going to be sued, or I don't know how you would get it into court on this, but my assumption is ultimately the Supreme Court is the only people who can give us some arbitration.
The panel essentially hits a brick wall here, and it highlights a massive divide in how we view political ethics. You have Bakari Sellers and Van Lathan pointing out the stark reality of foreign governments blatantly buying influence with a $400 million jet, while Kevin O'Leary completely deflects, writing it off as standard business and using buzzwords to dodge the constitutional question entirely. O'Leary's overreaction to being challenged on the Emoluments Clause shows a complete unwillingness to engage with the actual legal boundaries of the presidency. But as Scott Jennings rightly points out at the end, this isn't just TV theater. This is a legitimate constitutional crisis that will likely force the Supreme Court to step in and arbitrate. I want to pass the question off to you. Is accepting these massive foreign gifts just the reality of modern foreign policy? Or is it a direct violation of the Constitution that needs to be prosecuted? Let me know your side of the debate down in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more political deep dives. See you in the next one.